My name is Flavia Kaungu. I love drums. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about music and drums. I started playing drums in 2006 at a youth camp, actually, organized by the Victory Bible Church. In 2004, I tried to start learning keyboard, but then my teacher just taught me, I only had one lesson with my teacher, and so the following week we were supposed to meet. Unfortunately, he went to South Africa, so it didn't really go anywhere. So I was like, oh, okay, let me try the best. So the same thing happened to the best teacher. He only taught me once. The following week, he had to go to Lusaka. So I was thinking to myself, and I was like, Lord, I really have passion for music. And it looks like every person that every time I want to learn, the person that is supposed to teach me seems to be somehow going away. So I sat for a while and I was like, oh, wait a minute, my brother plays drums. And so I was so excited. I went to my brother, hey, can you teach me how to play drums? It was a little bit hesitant. He was like, no, you know what? Drums are not for girls. Drums are for men. It consumes energy and it's a little bit not ladylike. So I was like, okay, but I still had that passion to just learn an instrument. And for me, drums kind of seemed to be easy because I didn't really need a drum set to actually practice. So every time my brother would be playing, I'll be there watching every single thing that he was doing. And so for 2 years, I just watched him play and just practice on my own. And so whenever maybe he wouldn't show up for rehearsal, I would go and just sit on the drum and try to do one or two things. Of course, seeing that I never really got lessons, it was kind of hard for me to actually execute it. But nevertheless, in 2006, I was invited for a youth camp. It was a Victory Bible Church youth camp here in Kitwe, and actually I was forced to go for that camp. So we got there at the camp. It was across the Kafue River, the old Victory Bible School. We went there. I was like, anyway, let me see what will happen to me in this camp. And I met different people, and that day we were given, it was like we were taken into a chapel where we had to do introductions and stuff like that, and they had to show us rooms. So when everyone left, I saw a drum set there, and I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And I thought, I've been practicing for 2 years, and I haven't really had the chance to actually just put what I've been practicing on the drum set. Everyone was just busy looking at the different sites around the camp. My focus was just really in the chapel, and I went in there and I sat on the drums, and my God, I just started playing and just putting all the different thoughts that I had practiced or I've been practicing. And not knowing that the youth pastor then heard me play. So he came in the chapel and he was like, who's playing the drums? And I was like, I am, but I'm not really playing. I'm just playing around on the drums. And so he was like, no, you sound very good. I was like, no, I don't. He was like, no, you do sound good. And guess what? We don't have anyone to actually play the drums. We just brought the drums in case any of the campers can play the drums. So I was like, okay, all right. And he was like, you are our drummer. I'm like, no, I can't do that. He was like, no, seriously, you are a drummer. We don't have any drummers, so you are a drummer. And my God, that's how it started. I still remember the day. It was August 9, 2006, and it's now 13 years. It has really been awesome. I thank God that I made that decision to actually go to that camp, because my life has never been the same. And so I started playing drums ever since. I played throughout the camp, the 4 days of the camp, and I was sort of a celebrity in the camp. It was like from zero to hero, and I really just embraced the whole drumming life that just boomed in like a few seconds or hours. And so that's how I started my drumming journey. Drumming journey has really been exciting, challenging, and amazing, I can say. When I started, most people would come to just look at me, especially when we have crusades and stuff like that. Most people would just want to come to the crusade and just watch this lady drum. And I told the Lord, my prayer has always been that I don't want people to see me, but I want people to see you through me and through my gift. And so, because there's a thin line between pride, especially in the spotlight, especially when it comes to music, and especially that I'm a female person or a female drummer. So I've always had that attention from people where like, whoa, she's a girl, she can drum. It has had a negative also side where sometimes people would ask, do you even cook? Or do you even sweep? Do you even know how to do lady stuff? And I'm like, really, seriously? Of course I do. You know, I do cook, I do sweep, I do all the things that a lady, a normal lady would do. The only difference is, I think, I just decided to actually do something out of the normal, I can say. And so it has really been a very good journey for me. But my challenges mostly have been, I think, finding time to practice, and also, especially when I started school, I started work. There's more of stuff that started coming in. So there's like, what time do I need to practice and stuff like that? Because especially when you're a lady, you're growing up, there's lady responsibilities around. So my number one challenge, I can say, is finding time to practice. The other one I can say was finding myself in the music industry. Like, who am I? Like, am I a Christian musician? And what is a Christian musician? Because there's always that aspect. Are you a Christian musician? Are you? Do you do secular? Do you do what? And so that has always been my challenge, because you have like certain sets. They'll tell you, okay, we'll need you to play in a bar, and looking at who I am and what I've, the standards and my values, I'll usually drop it and say, nah, I can't do that. I can't really come and play in a bar. That's not who I am. And for me, that's what I have. Those are my values, and people have got different values and people have got different views about that. But for me, I cannot do that. And so those have been some of the challenges. Successes, wow, playing in a crusade and having someone or people say, I came to this crusade to see you, and my God, I met the Lord and I gave my life to the Lord. For me, that is, if there's any other success, I don't know what that is. For me, that's success. And whenever I hear people say, you really encourage me in your drumming, just the way you drum and the way you worship the Lord through your drums, that for me is success. Because at the end of the day, I know that my drumming is not just blessing me, but it's blessing others. And I know that somebody out there came to know the Lord through this gift, and that's what I want. That has always been my desire, to see people come to the saving knowledge of the Lord, or to see the brokenhearted just through my music, somebody just get encouraged, through my drumming, somebody just get healed. that has always been my dream and my vision through this my drumming. And so when somebody says that, I'm like, yes, I've achieved it. And for me, that's success. Of course, other people would say, have you ever played on a bigger stage and stuff like that? I get opportunities to play for different people. Last year, I played for the DC. He had a birthday, so I actually had an opportunity to play there. I get to have different opportunities, opportunities that if I wasn't playing drums, I wouldn't, I'll be like, oh, I play drums, and you get some special attention. But for me, success is when I hear somebody say, I came to the Lord, or I gave my life to the Lord, or I came to this church to come and see you, and then, boom, I met the Lord. For me, that's success. The person who really had a hard time with me drumming and everything was my mom. Because I think growing up, Flavia has always been a tomboy, like in school, I loved playing soccer. I used to play soccer, and I was actually in the district team, and I used to play field hockey. So I always had all these I was like one of the weirdest kids that she ever had. And so when she saw me moving around with sticks, she's like, are you a girl or a boy? So it was always that. So like, put those away, you're a girl. And so there were times that I had to hide those and just do it in my room. But then when she saw that I was using it for the glory of the Lord, she was really, she became supportive, I can say. I was born after 2 boys. So my closest friends were my brothers. And so I used to play around with my brothers, play a lot with my brothers. So I also had that input. So when I picked up the drums, she was like, so she always had that challenge. But after some time, of course, it took a lot of dedication from me and just knowing what I wanted out of it. Because it could have been easy for me to give up, but then I knew what I wanted out of it. And so I just kept on, and I kept on praying. So Lord, one day you will actually, she would see you through, she would see you in my drumming. And I hope it will be soon. And it came sooner than I thought. And so, yeah, that's how. My dad was okay. I think my dad is not really a talkative person. So unless you're really doing something wrong, as long as you focus, you're doing school, your focus in school is okay, and these parts are not tampered with, you're doing your chores at home. For him, that wasn't a problem. But for my mom, seeing that a girl, there's a certain way a girl is supposed to behave, I think that's why she really had a hard time to adjusting from the normal to this abnormal Flavia that was born to her. So yeah, I love to share, and like I said, for me, my sharing, my success is always sharing and seeing somebody receive the Lord. And one of the hardest things that I ever had, even when I was learning drums, and I'm still learning, is finding sources within our country. I wanted to do music when I finished school in 2009. I wanted to do music teaching, but then the music teaching I saw was just keyboard and everything. I wanted something that incorporates the drums and stuff. And so I just started researching and just researching on my own, and that's how come I got the different knowledge. And of course, I had Pastor Chris who helped me out, and the musicians from Victory Bible Church, Uncle Vernon, and the other guys who actually helped me. And it's through the knowledge and the experience that I had that helped me to actually come up with the drum school. I was like, I don't want people to have a hard time finding information, because it's not everyone that would have the interest to go on the internet and learn. Others want a one-on-one lesson, and that's how come I came up with the music, the drum class. So I conduct drum classes or lessons on Saturdays, and my God, it has really been awesome.
So we said when we are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and
before you hit your snare.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So for instance, if I'm doing 1.
The first student I had was Philip Banda. He's now a man. I started with him when he was like 5, and that was way back, I think around, should be about around 2009, around that time. But way before then, I would just have one or two lessons with him. But I seriously started doing that in 2009, and it was awesome. And I saw how it all unfolded, and how a great musician he came out to be, and that gave me courage to actually launch my drum class in a full force. That I actually even made flyers and just made posters and post on social media to actually, I was like, I can actually do this. Because there's always that aspect of fear to say, how I can't do this, I've never seen anyone do it. And so far I have about 8 students who come every Saturday, and others would call me during the week to just go to their church and just see what they're doing, and just give advice on 1 or 2 things. And so, yeah, and my dream actually is to grow it into a music school. And I'm hoping and I'm praying next year that I launch the keyboard and the guitar classes. I won't be the one teaching them, because I don't do that, but I have people I've spoken to that can take people through that. Because at the end of the day, the other thing that I've seen through my journey in music is most people are not exposed, and that becomes a challenge. Because I heard one statement, somebody who said this statement was like, I think it should be Jason McGurr, is a drummer. He was like, if you practice drums in your garage for 10 years, you'll be the best drummer that you have ever heard. And I was like, yeah, true. But I think when you get exposure with different knowledge and different people, you see that you can actually hold sticks like that. You can actually play this beat in this way. And so that is what I want. And the other thing is, I've seen the lack of education in terms of the music aspect, and so that's why I actually came up with that. Because most drummers, you find they know how to play drums, but there's other parts of a drummer that can make you play at a professional level. There's a theory aspect, how to read drums and different meters and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, and my God, I'm really enjoying. What I would love to say, or just encourage a girl out there, is never give up on your dreams. Even if it seems impossible, even if it seems that you're the only one who's doing that, your vision is yours, and you're the only one who can understand it. And so sometimes, like for me, My parents had a hard time actually accepting it. But I knew what I wanted, and that was my vision, and I just held on to it. And so, especially for the girls, no matter what you want to do, you can do it. No matter your background, no matter where you are right now, when you just decide and put yourself to it, dedicate time, believe me, you can achieve it. And please always remember, being normal is overrated. Abnormal is always good, because all the good people I've seen out there, or people have done extraordinary, they've all done something out of the normal. And so don't wait and sit down. Don't wait and sit, or just don't wait for somebody to come and say, you're doing a good job, then you continue doing it. Just continue doing it. I would love to just encourage somebody out there, especially a girl child or a lady, that you can do whatever you want to do. I do video editing. I'm able to do a little bit of sound as well. I'm able to do all these different stuffs because I've believed in myself. And most people would say, why do you like doing guys things? I don't like doing guys things. I think I just love to do things that I love to do, though it has been categorized as men's stuff. And so don't let society decide what you can do, and don't let society decide on your vision. My dream was to drum, and I have been drumming. And believe me, I'm now seeing female drummers popping up everywhere. Others would come and say, you inspired me to drum. Others would say, you know what? I was drumming, but I never really took it seriously. And believe me, you will succeed if you believe in your dream. And of course, you have to. It's always easy when you have people on your side. And believe me, the Lord always raises people to stand with you, with your vision. And He did that with me. And I am here because certain people stood with me, and they stood with me because they saw that I believed in my vision, and everyone else came along. Most of the times you don't even have anyone. You might have one or two people. But when you start succeeding, my God, the whole world is on your, the whole world wants to actually support you. And so where there's a will, there's always a way. Don't give up on yourself. Please take up that vision and do it, because you can do it. Don't look at what's surrounding you, the circumstances that are surrounding you right now. Just take that dream and do it by all means.